Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing really well. My name is Julian, and today we are going to discuss one of the most important fundamentals of understanding and working with modern applications, specifically if we are working with data driven applications. So, yes, finally, we are going to learn about SQL. I'm sure that a lot of students are familiar with what SQL is. So, for understanding it better, let's try to take one example. Let's try to imagine that you are an owner of a small online business. You like making robots. You're pretty good with making robots. So you sell it online and you have a small online business. You receive orders on a daily basis and you track your orders. You have a small inventory that you want to keep track of. And you also manage the customer's data. Now, let's say you're storing all of these information inside a spreadsheet. You're using Excel for it. Or sometimes you're using a notebook for keeping track of orders or keeping track of the inventory. You're using either a notebook or an Excel sheet. It might work fine when the number of customers that you're having are pretty low. But as your business expands, you start attracting a lot of people. You go on from having 10 customers to 1,000 customers, and eventually you even start having millions customers. In that case, if you want to search a customer's data, you will have to go through the entire Excel sheet or maybe the notebook. That could be a difficult task to do. Even if you want to update a user's data, it will be an extremely difficult task. And at times when you would want to have collected data for analyzing which product is selling the most, for analyzing those trends from your data, it will be difficult for you to do so using a notebook or an Excel sheet. So this is where SQL comes to rescue. So what is SQL? So SQL stands for Structured Query Language, which we can use for interacting with the relational databases. So SQL helps you to write a query which will help you to store some data into a database. A query for retrieving a data from a database. So you can specify the data that you need, and you can also modify the data without duplicating or losing the information. So it also helps you to analyze your data and generate reports and have them in charts and make informed decisions for your startup. So the key reasons why we want to work with SQL is that SQL provides us with a centralized database management system. So SQL allows you to store and manage all your data in one place, making it easier to maintain consistency and avoid duplication. And it also helps you to have faster retrieval for a data with a single query. We will learn about all of these queries, how we update, how we delete, how we create, update, delete, everything in the coming lectures. So SQL databases also helps us to handle millions of records and make complex queries on them, making them ideal for small businesses and large-scale enterprises. So you might be thinking that where would I use SQL? But SQL is everywhere. If you will have a look around in the society, you will realize that we are using and we are surrounded by SQL. Let's take a look at some real-world examples. So let's say Amazon. Amazon has a lot to do. Amazon has to keep track of orders. It has to reach out to customers, take care of the inventories, and have the customers' preferences. So for having all of these information, we use SQL. So all of these information are stored inside a database. So for interacting with these databases, we make use of SQL. In banking, we manage our account transactions securely. SQL in the backend helps us to make a command and process the transaction. In healthcare industry, keeping track of patient records and medical histories. Without SQL, these applications would struggle to handle the vast amounts of data that they process on a daily basis. So in short, we need SQL because it simplifies data storage, retrieval, and management, making our systems more efficient and reliable. So if you want to build a modern application, understanding SQL is not optional, it's essential. Thank you for watching, and I hope this session gave you a clear understanding of why SQL is important. Happy coding, everyone.